Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna focus on a topic that's a bit more specific that I really think can benefit a lot of people out there, and that is how to eat healthy. I feel like a lot of people talk about how important it is to eat healthy and they just kind of share surface level stuff about eating healthy, but I want to do like a deep dive into the topic because I used to be someone who struggled bad with all things like food, exercise, staying healthy, and maintaining a healthy weight. It really wasn't until about like 3 or 4 years ago that I felt more empowered to eat healthy, take control of my body, and actually like enjoy the foods that I'm eating. Especially as a teenager, I struggled a lot with like weight fluctuation and body confidence and my relationship with food, under eating, all those sorts of things that is actually very common amongst young girls in America especially. Let's just have an open and honest conversation about it, and I'm gonna share with you guys my top pieces of advice that I actually have used and implement in my daily life to feel good on the inside and the outside, as well as advice that have actually helped me to lose weight, like 20 pounds, and healthy meals that I actually look forward to. My first piece of advice to eating healthy and actually making it a sustainable and enjoyable thing is to hone in on what types of foods and flavors that you love, recipes that you love. This could be you really like food palettes that are tangy, sweet, pickled, crunchy, hearty. Like there's so many different types of flavors and cuisines out there. And the reason why I say this is because you have to get to know yourself and what you actually enjoy. I don't think that eating healthy is having to follow some other like influencers, what she eats in a day. Personally, I really like tangy flavors, a little bit of spice, a little bit of crunch. So I focus a lot on like Middle Eastern, Mediterranean foods. I also cook a lot of desi foods, but I make modifications. So I add less oil, or I don't use as much butter or cream. I try to eat food that I actually like, and of course balance out those proportions. So taking less rice and more meat or protein and vegetables. Okay, my second piece of advice is to romanticize home-cooked meals. It's no secret that home-cooked food is better for you in all ways. A, it's less expensive, and B, you know exactly what's going into that food. So finding balanced recipes online, prepping yourself ahead of time to cook, like putting it in your mind that, okay, on this day or tonight I'm making this meal and I have all the groceries ready and prepared to make it, and actually like looking forward to it. Again, I think it's silly to say that humans shouldn't and aren't supposed to look forward to their food. I think we all have cravings, and that's just natural. So I think there's a balance there where it's not your sole focus and you're only focused on one specific craving or one specific food, but you're also not following the mindset of food is just fuel for the body and it's nothing more than that. You know what I mean? And we live in a day and age where there are so many food creators online on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Sometimes making or cooking food at home is not always the most enjoyable thing. But I think if you like put it in the back of your mind that like, ooh, I'm gonna have this really yummy home cooked meal tonight. I have all the ingredients ready and I'm gonna like put on my favorite podcast or TV show or whatever it is while you cook. Like that's how I've really romanticized cooking. It's just my me time where I unwind, let my brain de-stress. I enjoy chopping the veggies, I enjoy sauteing things, and the more you do it, I feel like the more you're just gonna love it. This next point kind of goes along with what I was already saying. When you're first learning how to cook at home, I would recommend following many different recipes, trying things until you figure out, okay, I really like that, or I like this aspect of this recipe, and then using that information to move forward and figuring out what your staple home cooked meals are. My next point is paying attention to how unhealthy foods make you feel, especially when you eat those foods in large amounts. And what I mean by this is that for me, I used to really struggle with balance, right? Like I would have a cheat meal or a cheat day and eat a lot of a specific unhealthy food. Without fail, every single time afterwards, I would feel so shitty. Sorry for my language, but there's just no other way to explain it. Like I would feel bloated, I would feel sweaty, I would feel thirsty. I would wake up the next day still with those feelings, and it's just like not worth it. It's kind of like a food hangover. And with age and maturity, this came naturally. But once I kind of realized how these specific foods were making me feel, you know, the cost benefit or whatever, it just wasn't worth it for me anymore to have such large and irregular amounts of unhealthy foods. And of course, I still eat foods that are a little unhealthy and that are really yummy, but I try to do it in moderation. And I think the whole moderation thing comes with age, number one. I think that when you're a teenager, it's okay to like go through these fluctuations, but just once your hormones balance out, your brain clicks and all that, just have hope that balance and moderation will just come more naturally to you. I never thought it would come naturally to me. And then along with learning moderation and balance and all that is regular exercise. I know you've probably heard this a million times, but exercise and food and diet, nutrition, whatever, they all go hand in hand. When I am not moving my body or exercising, I get hungrier. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know what the science is behind it, but just moving your body helps to regulate your metabolism, helps regulate those cravings. There are a million different forms of exercise. Some days I even just go on a walk. And that was my movement for the day. Okay, my next point is to learn the difference between cravings versus hunger. Those are two different things, babe, and we gotta learn the difference. For me, I crave things like my favorite candy, my favorite dessert, pickles, like things that are not full, balanced, and healthy meals. I don't think you necessarily have to completely ignore a craving. Again, we're human. I think that we were just built and designed to have certain cravings and just accept that. But with the craving, eat a healthy, balanced meal. Get your protein in, get your veggies and greens and fiber. Guys, we ignore fiber a lot. And also have on the plate a little small portion of that craving. And sure, maybe there's days or cheat meals or whatever where you have more of that, but it's all about habit building, not filling yourself with the craving because of, again, how it'll make you feel, how it'll impact your body physically and internally. Hunger is like a true need to nourish your body, to have nutrition in order to literally keep functioning as a human being. And then a craving is a mental thing. So these things, again, they take time, but it's important to learn the difference. I already kind of touched on this, but setting yourself up for success by getting groceries at the beginning of the week, planning out which recipes you're gonna make, and meal prepping. With everything in life, if you wanna like have this goal of becoming healthy and living a healthy lifestyle, but you're not doing the actionable items to reach that place, then you're not gonna get there. So I like to make a list on my phone of things that we're missing from the fridge or that I need for a specific recipe. I don't plan out day by day what exactly I'm gonna eat, but I know like, okay, I'm gonna make 2 or 3 meals in the week. Here's kind of what I need for that. And also with practice and learning what you actually do end up eating, you just kind of, it becomes part of your routine that, oh, I need avocados, I need bananas, I need yogurt, whatever it is. If I have food in the fridge, then there is no reason why I need to be going to Chick-fil-A or wherever to get my next meal. And my last piece of advice before I go on to show you the actual food that I eat in a day is to pay attention to ingredients, you guys. My husband and I in the past like year or two have become kind of like freaks with this, checking the ingredients of everything. Like, and of course we're not perfect. I'll still have a little red 40, yellow 50, whatever the chemical is. Seriously, these big companies and corporations are just filling our bodies with all this junk. So even simple things like, I'll show you later on, the breakfast I eat, I pay attention to the ingredients in my bread. Arguably, sometimes ingredients to me are more important than macros because you want to make sure you're putting in actual real food and nutrition into your body, not a bunch of these preservatives and gums and seed oils and stuff. Pay attention to seed oils as well. Even like if you're getting ice cream from the grocery store. Like I know certain ice cream brands have like literally it's just, let's say it's a strawberry ice cream. It's just like the cream or milk or whatever and strawberry and sugar and like that's it. Whereas some of these other brands, it's like a whole paragraph or two of like ingredients that I can't even recognize. In the long term, like our bodies and our health is so important. We don't want to like consume all of these really bad chemical cancer causing ingredients for the rest of our lives. Okay, so those were my top pieces of advice. And now I'm going to show you what I actually eat in a day, why I eat what I eat, and talk a little bit more about intermittent fasting. guys, it's time to make breakfast. So I just went to my Pilates Legree class and I went on an empty stomach, so I'm very hungry right now. And something I wanted to talk to you guys about is intermittent fasting. I do from time to time intermittent fast, which is basically when you just delay starting your eating in the day. So sometimes I'll wait until like 12 noon to have my breakfast, or I guess you would call it lunch at that point, and then you stop eating by a certain time, like 8 or 9 p.m. And so it just, for me, it helps regulate my hunger and metabolism a little bit more and makes me less hungry throughout the day. I'm not saying that I'm still getting in all my calories and eating like really whole and healthy foods, but sometimes for me, when I start eating super early in the day, it kind of kickstarts my hunger and metabolism, and so I will just end up eating more throughout the day. I just kind of like to feel light in the morning, and all I'll have is a bunch of water and black coffee. So for breakfast, of course, we want to keep it very balanced, and the key to intermittent fasting is to break your fast with something that is super nutritious and healthy. Like if you just have super sugary cereal or like a sugary coffee, it just will spike your blood sugar. I know that this is not a revolutionary breakfast by any means, but I just do a sourdough avocado egg toast situation. Let me tell you specifically why I choose the ingredients that I choose. So I like to get sourdough bread. I'm sure that there are scientific articles on this, but sourdough is not as bad for you as regular white bread. I believe it actually decreases your like blood sugar levels because of just the dough. Either this or any sort of like whole wheat bread is better than just plain white bread, obviously. Specifically, I like to get my bread from whichever grocery store, their bakery section, instead of the general bread aisle, because I find that the ingredients in the bread are clean and they're legible to me. And this bread, for example, I get this from Kroger. It just has the unbleached enriched flour, water, sour culture, salt, wheat germ, and semolina. So pretty clean. I love pasture-raised eggs, specifically these Sauter's ones, because they're the most affordable that I found, and I just really like the taste and quality of them. Avocado, great healthy fats. I do add a little bit of cheese, whether it's pepper jack, a cheddar mix, just a little bit, because I still want to enjoy the breakfast that I'm having, but it's not like I'm making a grilled cheese. Just gonna go ahead and prepare this, and then that will be breakfast. Beautiful. I'll add some garlic powder to your avocado. Just makes it taste so good. Salt and pepper. All right, here's the final result. I made some for my husband as well since he's working from home today. I also love to add hot sauce to my eggs. So this looks really enjoyable, and this will definitely keep me full for at least the next like 2 to 3 hours. It's about 4 p.m. and I'm a little bit hungry, so I'm gonna have one of my snacks. So I have talked about these yogurts before, but these Siggy's yogurts are my favorite because they have 15 grams of protein, 11 grams of sugar, which could be less, but I feel like for that much protein in this little yogurt, that's not terrible. And the ingredients, like I mentioned, ingredients are really good. It's cultured pasteurized skim milk, pasteurized cream, coconut cream, cane sugar, and fruit pectin. These are just really nice to have on the go. My favorite flavor is the coconut because I feel like it just tastes so much more creamy. I like to eat fruit that is in season. So right now I feel like berries are really good. So I just have some raspberries and blueberries, and this will definitely keep my fiber in check. So I'm just gonna snack on this while I finish up my work for the day, and then I will have my dinner, which I'm very much looking forward to. Hi guys, future Dina here. So for dinner, I made these ground beef stuffed bell peppers. So this was a low to no carb dinner, which I like to do occasionally because you just realize you don't need that many carbs to feel full. But I had a lot of protein from the beef, and I also had pico de gallo on the side, so I got my veggies in. It was super yummy. Recipe is on my Instagram. I'll link it in the description. But after dinner, I like to have a little dessert. It's usually like a cookie with milk or whatever we have in the house. Remember, this is what works for me. I think you guys should try out a bunch of recipes, experiment. Again, romanticize home-cooked meals. And that is about it for what I eat in a day. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.